Fathomless eons ago, before there was time or light or movement, there was just the dark vastness of nothingness, unimaginable nothingness, and incomprehensible emptiness. Nothing, nada, zilch. And then, explosion! Oh, inexplicably, nothingness exploded itself. So out of nothingness came something. And out of something came endless things, and the things kept coming endlessly. Oh, these things were weird and wild and strange, emerging from the nothingness in all sorts of shapes and sizes and combinations, atoms and elements, and odd, mysterious stuff of physics. And these particles turned amazingly into stars and planets and moons and comets and meteors and even our own beloved Earth. Now we had time and light and movement. Everything was in constant motion, expanding, rotating, revolving, billions of planets, billions of stars, movement within movement. Here on Earth, there was more movement: air, water, sound, volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, rock slides, oceans, and winds. Oh, it was noisy and crazy and chaotic and wild and free and uncontrolled. Yet something was still brewing. Something is always being created, a continuity of endless things waiting to be created, or maybe to be self actualized, to materialize out of the water and mud and slime and soil and swamp and desert and mountaintop. Yes, life itself came into being. So many life forms, all moving, all so different, so distinct, so unique. Whales and wallabies, butterflies and bears, eels and elephants, spiders and sparrows, lions and lobsters, rabbits and rattlesnakes, roses and redwoods, and you and me, with all this incredible diversity and forms and abundance. Do we hope for an ending? Or do we hope for endlessness, explosion, existence, evolution, eternity, everlasting, or ending?
Trouble in mind. Let me tell you, I'm in serious trouble. Not my aching back, not my decrepit knee, not even my severe loss of hearing. These conditions are part of the aging process, they tell me, but that's not it. I don't mean to complain, but my mind is in turmoil, sorrow, torment. I am overwhelmed by news dark and bleak. Show me the roads that we must travel. Show me a way to rescue our earth and the wild diversity of life that calls this earth home, and our people, all of our people. I see it all. The breaking off of great ice sheets in the Antarctic, the rising ocean, the constant storms, tornadoes, hurricanes. I see it all. A great swarm of plastic that rides in our ocean, making a blanket to smother life. We humans befouling our nest, our source, spreading vile poison into our atmosphere. These are ominous threats to the great source of all life on Earth, our oceans, our water, our great blue planet, becoming polluted, toxic. The fires, the terrible fires that consume our forests and grasslands, the fires that seem to have no end, fires that destroy homes and refuges for life, all kinds of beautiful life, fires that bring fear and chaos. In our very own country, environmental protections removed, new avenues opened for oil drilling and mining, our sweet lands opened up to new threats and destruction. The dance goes on and on and on. I'm tired to death of trying to be positive, optimistic, and looking for the bright side. Help me. Help us all. Show me a glimmer of hope for the future, finding a way of healing our deep divide. Help me keep my feet on the ground and help me hold on to what is good. My heart and mind are deeply troubled, in anguish. Where do we go with our sorrow? How do we continue with this pain? What do we tell our children, our grandchildren? What kind of world will they inherit from us? Don't pretend that everything is all right. I beg you. If you know the truth, just a corner of the truth, stand up and shout it.
What if they were a round ball replica of our Earth in miniature, hovering just above our heads? We could marvel at its bumps and contours, rivers and oceans, the delicate layer of atmosphere so thin we can move clouds across the surface with our breath. Whew! Perfection! What artist created this magic? Imagine wanting to change it. With hubris. Try damming a river with your thumb, flattening a mountain with a fist, spraying gases that kill the greenery or taint the waters. Would the artist be pleased? Would this masterpiece benefit from our tweaking it to better serve our species? I wonder how long this small and fragile globe can survive our so-called improvements. We've a history of disregarding our rightful place in the family of creatures put here on this beautiful mud ball spinning through inhospitable space. I don't see another ball like it anywhere. Scientists are predicting we're rapidly heading toward a precipice, like lemmings lurching off the cliff headlong into an abyss. We're hastening our own demise by disregarding the signs from the mother. She's crying. Enough is enough. Listen to the lament of the polar bear marooned on a tiny chunk of floating ice, too exhausted to swim back to broader expanses of tundra. It's all melted. If that doesn't get us to change our ways, what will? If the current pandemic doesn't kill us, or scare us silly and make us want to make changes and find solutions now, then I fear we truly are the least intelligent of God's creatures. All the others know not to foul their nest. All the others know not to poison their mother. We haven't yet learned the first principle. Do what's right for the whole. Pity this poor, busy monster, man unkind, not, said E.E. Cummings, followed by, listen, there's a hell of a good universe next door. Let's go.
Bringing the garden home. To save a garden is holy work, and it is not too late to replenish the garden that is our world. But we better rush to the aid of the green man and the green woman. We must not back down from the grim reapers, but stand with this solitary gardener who bends and kneels into the soil for the sake of a rose bush. Together we gather exuberant bouquets, joy, truth, love, peace gathered. Come out and into the garden of life. Fill the streets with blossoms and fragrance, where hills and hearts were barren and burned. they can flourish in beauty. We imprint the air and water with the vision of the original sacred garden and call back defeated lives to come out from prisons, come up from abject poverty, come forward from torture, come back from fear and hatred. Our cheeks will be wet with tears, but our arms will be full of roses. Come help bring the world back to its senses, bring life back to life. The destiny of the world is not destruction and war. Come work with the royal gardeners in the heart's green country that can accommodate the entire world. No one left out.
I would like to propose that we ask our military and our armaments industry to become our protectors from climate change. The military are ideal. They have manpower, discipline, courage, logistics. That we should redirect the huge amount of money, like $750 billion that we give the military every year, to more useful social functions like manufacturing, solar panels, and of course healthcare, education, and the alleviation of poverty. At the moment, the military are one of the biggest contributors to global warming, never mind that they have enough nuclear weapons ready to wipe out life as we know it. We need to help them turn away from violence and destruction as a solution to problems. We need to give them a more positive task in life. What if we gave solar panels to countries instead of arms? Wouldn't that create goodwill and keep us safer and contribute to alleviating the climate crisis? Our politicians' hands are tied by the armaments industry and the big corporations, some of whom deny climate change. So we have to be the voice for change, we and all the people of goodwill on the planet. I saw this happen so powerfully in the conflict in Northern Ireland. The violence went on for almost 30 years, and then people realised that you can't bomb hate out of people's hearts. And public opinion changed. And when the leaders of the violence saw the change in public opinion, they became politicians willing to negotiate. That's where all great movements have started, with public opinion. The birth of this country, the end of slavery, civil rights, women's vote, all people's movement. I leave you with the favourite quote from Gandhi. No matter how small a thing it is that you think you could do, it's very important that you do it. So just talk to your friends, neighbours, and anybody about this great new idea.
The catch: nothing is wrong with us, and there's not a better day for the dormant and brave dream to rise on the tides of the soul, for Genesis to begin again, to re-engage with the magic that is our world. Water and wind are always plotting and prodding, exciting the seasons, attracting Aphrodite and Krishna, Kuan Yin and Christ, who ride on cerulean waves, on shells shaped like hearts to the shore. The grieving pearl, rubbed layer by layer, begins to gleam, and the emissaries of hope we call trees emerge ring by ring, spreading their abundant leaf luster. Our soul net's catch is brimming with a year of fishing in the shadows and in the light. It's autumn. Transformation is everywhere. Acorns are tiny temples. Squirrels are resident monks. Geese are troubadour musicians. Leaf litter will make fertile ground of world suffering and world sorrow. That is what nature teaches us, telling us this is a season, not a sentence. Within the deep holes of our fear and resentments, wells will open up and the waters of life will flow. Walls broken down and new horizons appear. There is not a better day. Not to be held back by the tyranny of denial, not to be pushed down by doubt. Take back enthusiasm. Take back hope. We have nothing to fear. We are in good company, and there's nothing wrong with us.